Let's predict the match between Manchester City and Chelsea in the Champions League final starting on 29th May 2021. The match takes place at Dragon Stadium in Portugal, FC Porto's home stadium. There are no first-team players that are not currently playable in Manchester City. İlkay Gündoğan, who was replaced early in the match against Brighton, is expected to play in the final. In the case of Chelsea, on the other hand, some players are less likely to play than Manchester City. N'Golo Kante, who had a thigh injury in a league match against Leicester City, and Edouard Mendy's injuries to the chest and abs after hitting the goalpost in the last league match against Aston Villa, were bad news for Chelsea. In the case of Kante, it seems that it will not be difficult to play in the final because it is a little painful and replaced. But in the case of Mendy, the core muscle is injured, so there is a high possibility that he cannot play the match compared to Kante. Since the 4th of May, after the second leg of the Champions League semi-final, Manchester City has been perfectly preparing for the final. They gave Kevin De Bruyne a break of over 2 weeks, giving rotation members a lot of opportunities to compete in the meantime. During this period, many substitution players were able to boost their performance. On the other hand, Chelsea continued to compete for Champions League tickets until the final match of the league. In the FA Cup final, after giving the trophy to Leicester City, the performance has declined a lot. As a result, they lost even the final match against Aston Villa, which they had to win for the Champions League tickets, and showed no results in a motivated match. It was a bad part for Chelsea that they couldn't control the stamina of the main players at all. Manchester City's expected lineup will be similar to the last match in the league against Newcastle. Including Kevin De Bruyne, they were building match fitness and teamwork for the Champions League final. The lineup of the match is most likely to be the closest match to that of the final. However, it is easy to predict the return to the starting lineup of İlkay Gündoğan, who was replaced by a minor injury, and Bernardo Silva, who did not have to replace him due to the big difference in score in the last match. If Gündoğan or Silva is unable to play in the match, Phil Foden will be placed in the central midfielder position, and Raheem Sterling will be included in the starting lineup. In the case of Chelsea, it is not very different from Manchester City. They are going to have all of the players currently available in the match, and as they should have had the best lineup up to the last match of the league, there will be no big changes from the Chelsea lineup we've seen so far. However, depending on the injuries of N'Golo Kante and Edouard Mendy, Mateo Kovacic and Kepa Arrizabalaga may be the starting positions. Kai Havertz may be the preferred option over Christian Pulisic if the tie of the attackers is more important. If Andreas Christensen recovered well, he can replace Reece James in the stopper position. Manchester City's midfield, which has the second highest position of Europe's top 5 leagues, is the team's best strength. The fact that they can keep the ball and attack with it against any team is the most believable evidence for those who think Manchester City will win the match. The fact that Kevin De Bruyne's false nine role can be played by any player in the midfield area will be confusing to the Chelsea defenders. On the other hand, Chelsea's midfielders are more dynamic than Manchester City's midfielders. Unlike the dominant but less dynamic Manchester City players, the Chelsea midfielders are all dynamic, except for Jorginho. N'Golo Kante, who is the word of dynamic. Mason Mount follows his level, and Ben Chilwell and Cesar Azpilicueta, who is actively moving and attacking, showed good performance against classy Real Madrid midfielders. One of Manchester City's biggest challenges against Chelsea is pace. Against dynamic Chelsea players, John Stones, whose speed is weak, and Fernandinho, who has a good sense of stability but less active than before, are Chelsea's first point of attack. The covering play of Kyle Walker and Ruben Diaz and other players is essential. The position that could be the biggest problem for Chelsea is also the position of the defensive midfielder. He's been making mistakes in matches against other teams as well, so Jorginho's performance against Manchester City's attackers, who are the best in organized pressure, can lead to big mistakes. And Timo Werner's goal-scoring ability, who hasn't been able to keep up with Chelsea's poor attacking, is likely to be the same against Manchester City. The key player to watch in Manchester City this match is Riyad Mahrez. As Chelsea's main attack route was on the left flank, where Ben Chilwell played, Riyad Mahrez's influence could dominate the entire match. He's been in a good form recently, and because of the importance of the final, it's important how much to reduce the participation of Chelsea's Ben Chilwell's attacking involvement in stable game management. The player to watch out for in Chelsea is N'Golo Kante. In the Champions League, N'Golo Kante has played the most important role in counter-attack tactics, the main attack method. Kante's ability to deliver the ball to the attacking third is more important than anything for Chelsea, who are more likely to take a defensive approach against Manchester City. Support for Jorginho is an important part of N'Golo Kante's role as well. Of the Manchester City substitutes, Raheem Sterling will be the most threatening card for Chelsea. The only crack winger is Riyad Mahrez because Phil Foden plays on the left side but prefers to play in the central area. Sterling will be a plus for Manchester City when the impact is needed on the left side as well. Gabriel Jesus, who showed good movements in recent matches, and Ferran Torres, who showed a strong performance in the striker position, can be good subs as well. In Chelsea, Kai Havertz will be the first replacement option. Christian Pulisic is more likely to be on the starting lineup for Thomas Tuchel, who will adopt counter-attack as the main tactic. However, after a certain time, the first card will be Kai Havertz if the time comes when the linking play with the attackers is important. The fact that Kai Havertz is currently the best match for Timo Werner is the reason we can see this player's face in the final. Olivier Giroud and Marcos Alonso, who can show good header skills in the set piece, and Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi, who can give an impact as crack wingers, can be good sub cards as well. Considering the overall team's preparation and players' conditions, I think Manchester City is a bit better. It is not easy for Chelsea, who can be a back five in tactical matchups. Is not ahead of Manchester City, which is well attacked in half space, and Manchester City is not behind in terms of motivation. However, the 6-day break will work more positively for Chelsea, and as the final of the one tournament match can change as much as possible, there is a possibility that Chelsea's efficient football will lead to the result. Manchester City must consider the weaknesses of the set pieces or the lack of a real number 9 striker. And for Chelsea, the condition of the players returning from injuries can determine the match result. Manchester City will likely win if the match is over in 120 minutes, and Chelsea will win if they will reach the penalty shootout. There is a high probability that the second goal will decide the match. And if Manchester City wins, they can win with a difference of 2 goals. And if Chelsea wins, they can win with a difference of 1 goal. Considering the overall squad's preparation and tactical match, I expect Manchester City to win by 2 goals.